This is Matrix Lord 212, and we got some Spider-Man news. Amazing Spider-Man 2, Mark Webb talks and teases of sequels and expanded universe. Revealing whether to see horns on the Rhino. Director Mark Webb talked lengthily about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and its many villains, the third and fourth installments, and more. And here we go. Ahead of tomorrow's big Comic-Con panel, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the guys at Movies.com had a lengthy chat with director Mark Webb today about the much-hyped sequel and beyond. There's always been a plan to extend this universe, Webb said, to make a series of films that were interrelated and weren't purely episodic. That there are certain ongoing stories that were going to play out over multiple films. So that's always been in the works, and there's been some early talks about the nature of what those next two movies are. It's too early to talk about too many of the details, but if you pay attention to this film that's coming out, you may get a feeling and sense of what's to come in the future. When asked if he would be directing the third and fourth installments, the fourth one was a bit of a surprise, Mark Webb admitted. We always talked about there being a set of 3 movies, but there may be elements that expand outside Spider-Man that could fulfill that fourth film. On Amazing Spider-Man 2 front, Mark Webb says Electro is a fantastically cinematic villain, and there's something truly terrifying and godlike about his powers. And that's something that's been very fun to develop and conceive of, not only visually, but conceptually, what happens when this creature, who's mythological in scope, is unleashed in New York City. The visual spectacle of it is going to be fantastic. We're doing some terrible things to Times Square, but it's going to be fun to watch. When reminded of the number of villains in the sequel compared to Sam Raimi's third installment and questioned how he plans to avoid that same downfall, Mark Webb says, one of the things about Spider-Man that's really fun is that people who become villains often don't start out as villains, he adds. Most of the relationships are based in love in some ways. We're teasing out certain characters that may not be his main foes, but the main villain is going to be Electro. Whether fans will see horns on the Rhino, Mark Webb replies with a simple yes. What do you think? So that's it. Comic-Con is this weekend, and a lot of big news is going to hit, and I can't wait. So, you know, that's The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they got 3 and 4 planned and beyond, probably. So, take care. Bye.